sometimes where we all live is sort of a lonely place on occasion when we find ourselves, wow, I'm the only one here and the parking lot's empty. That's awesome. And it's Easter Sunday. Huh. And I live in Tulsa. This is terrible. Can it get any worse? But one thing I've had to actually do, because I love the relationship part of what I do. I mean, my small group, if you will, are the guys I work with. I mean, it's how it was on the road. It's how it is here. It's important to me that my wife likes the crew I have. I mean, that's really important because she knows I'm spending a lot of time there. So those are things we've chosen to focus on. But it's really hard when I am their boss. So I've actually had to create a little bit of separation between me and them. And it's been hard because, you do have to work on it. We really, really have to work on it. But I've had to actually, for the guys I have, and in the place we live in, I've had to actually not go to lunch all the time with them. I mean, I'm not saying never, but just sort of make a little bit of a, you know what, it's not okay for you to sit in my office all the time when you don't have something to do. In fact, why don't you have anything to do? Hold it. In fact, let's have a meeting about that. And let's discuss your pay and all that stuff. But actually maybe have the door closed a little more than I used to. And that's totally not me. It never was me. I was the guy as I was going up through the ranks. I would actually have to be reminded by people I answered to like, you know what, you need to delegate that. And you need to let them do it. And you need to go over here. That's part of leadership. But it's been interesting that the team has gotten better, but I've had to actually watch them get better sometimes instead of be one of the guys in the group with them getting better. It's been a different kind of experience, but it's been one that's been very healthy for the team.
And you're going to battle each weekend and with your team. There's a sense of camaraderie that's there. And so carrying that into the week, you've got to think from the leadership side. You've been placed in a place of authority over, your team, whether that's volunteers, whether that's, paid staff members. But at the same time, it's your responsibility as a leader to speak into their lives whenever you see, even if they are your buddy, you go and hang out and whatever, on the weekends after church, they're your buddies. But at the same time, when you see a place of weakness or a spot that you think that they could develop, it's your responsibility to speak into that. I mean, I know that in our culture, feedback is, it's always there. From above, from below, from side to side. It's that 360 leader thing that, that John Maxwell speaks about, we're always getting feedback. So there could be somebody that, one of the people that reports to me may see a hole in my development, and they may speak into that. In fact, we have meetings that we call clear the air discussions. So we'll have times where we'll come and we'll sit around the table, and it's game on. Everybody go around the table. You tell me what's under your skin, what can I do better, and I'm fair game for that. So I put myself in the same position as I would giving feedback to one of the guys that reports to me. I in turn can get that from above, from below,
Maybe to shift the conversation a little bit, for me, I try to put myself in the position of the volunteer and what did I want from somebody like me when I was that person. Even I think about myself now, what do I want from the person above me? Like what kind of encouragement, what kind of direction, what kind of expectation setting do I want? And try to do that to the people that the volunteers that are on my crew. Because I think it's real. I realize that I am. The people up on this panel, we are not the normal church experience. From a production standpoint, like it's been a very long time since I've been a volunteer. I mean, a very long time to remember, what that's really like. But it's so important to think back on, when I didn't know anything about how the soundboard worked. What did I need from the person sitting, that guy who was working that one fader? What do I wish he had told me, when I was hitting the record button? Yeah, I think it's just been a useful exercise for me to say, what can I give that I wish I had gotten?
Yeah, and that's real good on leading down on team. Just picking up on what Todd just said and Andrew talked about, especially working with younger people. A lot of us have a lot of younger guys on the team now, maybe before. And for me, it really is that consciousness of knowing, okay, I got to remember back when I was a kid and what direction I wanted from the person above me. It might be different than how I'm leading some of the older guys on my team. Right, and there's that's a different. There is a different breed. Even some of the culture and ideas we talk about with some of the new generation. I guess you want to call it new generation, and some of this entitlement that we see so much of. I'm entitled to a lot of things, an office, and all these things. It's like, wow, I didn't have an office for years, kind of thing. But there's some expectations now that are out there in the world, and you have to deal with those. And so some of that is that relationship and thinking back to when I was a kid.